Hey guys, Climbing Crypto here. Just another video today. I'm going to give the community and YouTube at large an update about arbitraging. Today is January 30th, 19. And as I mentioned in a previous video, I kind of watch the chats in arbitrage for important information that I can then compile in a video to share important news, things that are not just banter back and forth. So today I came across some good information, good conversation. David Peterson was on the chats today, and also another person by the name of Crypto Shinobi, and he's also a developer and coder. So I'll just take you through some of the conversation they had and talk about what David said as well. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you another video that I found talking about crypto arbitraging and how it works most effectively, and what is most likely how David and the team are doing it. So yeah, let's have a look here at the Telegram chat, and I can decipher some of the conversation for you. So Crypto Shinobi says, I can tell you this much. They are working hard. I've been talking to David earlier on. Got a look at part of the actual aBOT code, and what a beautiful thing it is. We were exchanging some ideas on firms to get the actual code of the aBOT audited. So that's some good news. I think a lot of people are looking forward to that. And then David chimes in and says true. And then Shinobi says, along with the dev team, this Bizmaster says, who programmed it? Majaz. And then he says, Crypto Shinobi says, along with the dev team, don't know who did what, but there are several devs. And then let's see. Then Bizmaster says, nice, would be good if they could show it to silence the fudders. And then Shinobi says, I'll make the same analogy as earlier. And we all know that Coca-Cola has sugar in it, but we don't know the exact recipe. And they did show aBOT trades on a live stream way back with Crypto Whale. And then David chimes in and he goes, sugar, what's in it, but sugar, but not region it's grown, and what the difference chemical makeup it is. And then Shinobi says true, and David Peterson again just chiming in. Bizmaster says, well, some type of proof, the aBOT in action, right? David says, simple, think bigger, like when you get to use it at home. And David Peterson says, don't let the fudder cloud your vision. And let's see. Think huge. This is, let me see, there's some better information going forward. And then Bizmaster says, do you trade manually as well, or only with the aBOT? And then David says, we do manually if new things pop up and we're not set up yet. Take all you can get. And then when SV went live, we killed it manually for about 18 hours until programmed. And then that was a great day. Let's see. Bizmaster. Some people claim that Binance video isn't really proof because it doesn't show trade routes between exchanges. What would your response be? And let's see. I don't think David Peterson answers that directly, but then he goes on to say, "Oh, FYI to all, been working hard. Like that's new, but working a lot smarter. We have some great news to release soon." So that's good. It's not always posted on the main chats and stuff like that. So I think people appreciate when they can hear from the CEO of the company say something's coming up soon and that type of thing. Let's see. There's more to this though. There's more talking. Bizmasters talks to Shinobi and great detail just coming up. Let's see. Let's see. So David Peterson chiming in again. Shinobi is a great coder with background. He gives us some advice on more places to get some aBOT auditing. And he's seen some of the code. And then Shinobi says, "Yes, I have. It's a beauty." And then let's see, going forward, I want to show you guys the conversation between Shinobi and Bizmaster. Here's another question. Are we still on auto reinvest? And then Shinobi says, yes, we are. They're still busy on the platform collecting needed data. Don't know the exact timing, but it will be announced. So Bizmaster says, if aBOT is so great and efficient, then how come these big corporations with hundreds of programmers don't manage to code aBOT like? No fudding, just wondering. And this is where their conversation starts. And Shinobi answers, remember, Shinobi is the coder. Move the same question to the stock exchange. I work high profile security in bank. I can tell you they make a lot more than the few percent per year you get on investments here. Crypto is still very young and needs a different approach. The ones that successfully do it first will succeed as number one. Even look at forex trading bots and stuff. It exists. Only not many have gotten the courage to do the same in crypto until last year. Stocks and forex have been doing it for decades. Most of them are still scared of new things. Most companies stick to what is known instead of actively seeking innovation and alternatives. And we have the regulations part as well. For banks, everything needs to be, I don't know what that is. That's some sort of regulation, PCI DSS compliant, which brings a whole different aspect to creating these things. By the way, very valid question. And so Bizmaster asks again, last questions before they paid out in ETH. Was there a link between aBOT pool and what they traded on the exchanges? And what is the link? And then Shinobi says, the ARB pool has used the money of the ICO initially to trade with, and how the algorithm works and how much they added to that pool, I don't know. But I can tell you that the arbitraging opportunities of more than 2% per trade is very possible. Liquidity, order book, and amount of percentage trades will result in certain percentages profit, which is distributed amongst aBOT holders. And the bot trades 24/7, so that's what adds to the payout pool. And then Bizmaster said, because from what I can tell, the aBOT pool itself appears to be a closed fractional reserve system without a direct link to the aBOT trading bot on the exchanges. I mean, before they started to pay out in ETH. And then Shinobi answers, aBOT pool is, I think, needed indeed separate from what is actual in the aBOT, but only David and team can confirm that. That I can tell you. What I can tell you is this: the aBOT is real, and I saw parts of the code. So that's the main thing. And I actually think, I mean, if you put, 1 and 2 together, I mean, there's no way, with the amount of money coming in and the amount of money going out, and there's actually transactions records of this that David posted in one of the groups that you can look up, that more money went out than came in. And perhaps I'll do a video on that soon. So moving forward, Bizmaster says, because if there was a link between the aBOT pool and the trading bots, the ARBs would have to get converted into ETH somewhere and then get sent to the exchanges to trade with and back and to the platform, but that's not the case. And then Shinobi says, there is ETH that gets transferred in from the exchange where the trades happen, but they also do lightning trades where the exchanges are pre-populated. 4 trades were done in 5 minutes on a demonstration video of Crypto Whale months ago. So yeah, like I say, I'm going to show you a video at the end of this that demonstrates this kind of idea. And then Bizmaster says, yes, we do get partial ETH payout now, but this has to come from company's own pocket. But the aBOT pool itself is just a fractional reserve system, similar to how banks work. I personally don't have a problem with that as long as it works. So that's really what I wanted to highlight here and show you guys. And to finish it off, I'm just going to show you this video about this guy talking about how the actual bots work for arbitraging.
So what you would do is, let's say you've got your exchanges that have the various prices. I'm just making these prices up for the example's sake. What you want to do is get all your information. So one of the things that your bots are going to want to do is they're going to want to go and scrape the data. So you want to scrape this data from the exchanges. So to do a scraping program, I mean, there are lots of tutorials online how to set up a scraper. Let me just finish this little table. Probably made it too big. But essentially what you want to do is each bot, so you'll have bot 1, bot 2, bot 3. Each exchange, you might have to write it in a different language depending on what the exchange is, what their rules are, blah, 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 blah. But essentially, you're going to have these bots, and the first thing that they're going to be doing is scraping the information of all the various coins. And then what they're going to do is they're going to send this information to your server. So you want some sort of central server that would then look like this. It would then have this matrix of information. And what your server will do is, so you're going to have bots sending their information, their price information to the server. What you're going to do then is your bot is then going to look, how do I change colors? There we go. It's then going to look at which ones to buy. So we're going to be looking at all the various coins. And what we can do is we can buy, say, Bitcoin's the cheapest there, Litecoin's the cheapest there, Ethereum's the cheapest there, Dog's the same price everywhere, that one's at 40, that one's there, and we go over there. Now, first thing, let me just say out over here, for simplicity, I'm using a measure that is kind of all the same. What you could do is you could use all of these as the Bitcoin price. So almost you take away Bitcoin. So you're going to be doing Bitcoin arbitrage, but not necessarily on Bitcoin's value. You're going to be doing it on all the coins' relative value to Bitcoin. And the reason why you just want a standard unit is just to make things a little bit easier. Normally what you do is USD with the various other currencies, but what we can do is these can be therefore the ratios to Bitcoin. what you would want to then do is you then know which ones you want to buy. So these are all the currencies in relation to Bitcoin. You then want to also look at which of the exchanges are the most expensive. And these are actually going to be the exchanges that you're going to want to be selling at. Okay, so we're going to be buying those coins from those exchanges, and we're going to be selling these coins at these exchanges. So what's going to happen is our server will then come to bot 3 and tell bot 3 that you need to sell Litecoin and you need to sell, NEM. It'll come to say bot 1, and it'll be like, okay, listen here, you need to sell Monero, and to bot 2, you need to sell Ether, and you need to sell Dash. And it's going to do the exact same thing when it comes to buying. It will also send them their buying instructions. So it'll be like, buy Litecoin on exchange 1, bot 1, buy Dash as well, and buy Ethereum at exchange 3. So what you'll be doing is your server is going to be receiving all these price informations, and then it's going to be sending out instructions on what bots need to do what. So basically what your bot's doing is it's sending out trading instructions. Okay, trading instructions. Now essentially what you might want to do is you want to look at the percentage difference. The greater the percentage is, the more likely you want to do that trade. So for instance, if we look at Monero, this one over here, we're buying at 50 and we're selling at 70. That is a very nice spread compared to say one where we're buying at 38 and we're only selling at 42. So what you want to do is you want to find the ones that have the biggest spread, or if your spread, that's also known as the percentage, if your spread is above a certain rate that is more than the transaction fees. Okay, the smaller you make your spread, the more trades you're going to be making, but the more you're going to be paying in transaction fees. The greater you make it, the more profit you're going to be making, but the less opportunities you're going to be finding. So that is a trade-off that you need to try to figure out. What you could even do is some sort of machine learning algorithm that then determines that for you. So what you do in that situation is you set that spread as a random variable, you then see how much profit you're making, and then you tweak it and see what the profit is. If the profit moves in a good way, you keep moving in that trend, otherwise you reverse it until you find the sweet spot. Or you could just set it at an arbitrary 5%. I mean, that probably is the best way to start. You can maybe use that as your prior information, and then do some machine learning Bayesian techniques to get a posterior one, and then join the two together. Anyway, sorry, I'm going a little bit off track. Let's get back to the Bitcoin arbitrage. You can have a lot of fun like in between doing how these things are. The final thing, and this is where having a background in actuarial science, you should have a little bit of an advantage over all the other traders, is you now need to do your capital management. Okay, essentially what you need is you've got bot 1, you've got bot 2, you've got bot 3. All of these bots need to have a reserve of coins. So they need to have a reserve. What I mean by a reserve is, so when you're setting this up, you want to almost say, okay, we want 100 Litecoins, we want 200 of this one, so that you can take advantage of the buying and selling at a more quicker rate. You could do it so that, I mean, you come, sorry, I'm trying to swipe on this iPad thing. How do I swipe to the previous page? Yeah. You could have it so that you just have the buying straight away, in which case, if you're going to be doing this approach, sorry, we have having a little bit of technical difficulties. Anyway, we're back. So you could have this approach where you store a reserve of each coin. So you'd have, say, 100 Litecoin in all the exchanges, 100 Ethereum, 100, and then buying and selling and adjusting like that. Or you could have all your capital management just based around Bitcoin. But what's going to start happening is that the exchanges that are doing a lot of the buying, their Bitcoin reserve is going to decrease. And the ones that are going to be doing the selling, their Bitcoin reserve is going to be increasing. Now, it's very simple when you've got just say bot 1 and bot 2. But when you start introducing bot 3, bot 4, because the more bots you get, the more arbitrage opportunities you can potentially find, it then starts getting a little bit tricky. But what you'd want is to almost have another rule where bot 1, bot 2, bot 3 have each got their own Bitcoin addresses, and then have a rule that says if bot 2 is doing a lot of selling, then, or it's trying to sell but it's running low on Bitcoin, it can send a request for coins. And then the coins that are selling, they're more likely to give. So to do that, what you would want is some sort of other variable that every time there's a sell, you have a giver variable, and every time you have a buy, there is a request variable that goes up. And then what happens is that when this request variable is going up, it can then request coins from the exchange that is then selling them, because they should have enough and then they can send it. This does get a little bit complicated. I'm probably not going to go into too much detail, otherwise this video is going to be way too long. But that is one thing where you want to look at your capital management techniques that you have learned in financial economics, and maybe write a little bit of mathematics around this to just perfect it and optimize it, so that, because the worst thing is you don't want it so that the thing that wants to sell the coins hogs all the Bitcoin, so that the bots that are trying to buy cannot buy because they don't have any Bitcoins, and then you have to manually go in and send and all that type of stuff. You do want this whole process to be automated.